I'm going to tell you a little bedtime story. How would you like that?
Pixie!
The fella you ran into was coming to kill me. Sir.
Is he dead?
No, he's having a fucking nap. Yes, he's dead.
What's in the bag?
Guessing you fellas aren't used to being in the hot water you find yourselves in currently, is that correct?
One to you. It's way too big for you, trust me.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Pablo Escobar. Welcome to Sligo.
I figure you got a corpse in the back of your car and you're looking to skip town quick, am I right? I should probably let you know up front that I'm partial to an adventure.
You're saying it's priests that are after us.
These guns aren't going to shoot themselves.
Deadly gangster priest, yeah?
The Lord will have his vengeance.
Colm Meaney, it is an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. My name is Eoghan, and I'm sure you get this all the time, but I've actually, this is one of my life goals, to actually meet you and talk to you. I know we're not in person, but it's great to talk to you today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's a very, very nice greeting. Thank you very much.
Well, it's not to put too much pressure on you. They say never meet your Zoom heroes, but here we are. Anyway.
Well, yeah, there's some truth to that.
So congratulations, first of all, on Pixie. I particularly loved your character and the premise of he's obviously done some very bad things in his life, but he's kind of had enough of being a gangster and he just wants to put the feet up, relax, do a bit of cooking and take it easy. So can you just give us a wee bit of background about your character and what you liked about the script for?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, exactly as you said. I mean, the character, it was a really interesting gangster in that he's as you say, he's fed up with the life. He doesn't want the hassle of it all. He kind of reluctantly will beat someone up if he has to, but you know, he'd rather be in the kitchen watching, you know, the cooking shows and developing his culinary skills, which is, you know, kind of fun for a gangster. But I mean that obviously attracted me to it. But the script as a whole, I mean, I just thought it was a wonderful conceit to have this girl, yeah, and it's female driven, you know, which is lovely to read, and beautifully played by Olivia Cook, I think, and it was a total page turner, you know. It's funny. It's kind of gangsterish. It's dangerous. It's got action in it. You know, it's just a wonderful piece of writing by Preston, who of course is Barnaby's son. Barnaby, their director, his son, and you know, a great team. And I was thrilled to do it. You know, having read it, I was sort of chomping at the bit to do it.
Yeah, well, anything that has Alec Baldwin as a killer priest in it, I think I would sign up for that as well. So
yeah, and that's what, you know, you can tell he was loving that. Alec was loving the chance to play that guy, you know.
I'm glad you brought up Olivia there, because whenever we were fortunate enough to talk to you last year for a previous release, you mentioned a bit of advice that Pat Laffin had given you about you don't want to worry about being a star. It's about you know, work and the roles. And Olivia, I was fortunate enough to talk to her just recently for Pixie, and she brought up something very similar, where she said you had such a lovely air about you working with you. And she said, and this is a quote from her, she said, you had a real I don't give a fuck about the starry nature of being an actor. She said it was all about the work. But how important is that to you, and kind of passing that on to those younger actors as well, and in the approach you take to all the work you're doing?
Well, it's crucial, you know. I mean, I've seen a lot of young actors who, and you know, I remember Jim Sheridan years ago said to me that, you know, most stars that he worked with were really driven people, you know, and it's true, they are. There's something about, you know, people who become, you know, stars, for want of a better word, are very, very driven, and it can sometimes get in the way of the work, you know. It's not about that. It's about, you know, interpreting what you're reading and the character you're playing and telling the story. And that's always been my goal. And as you say, I'm eternally grateful to my dear friend Pat Laffin, who unfortunately passed away last year. You know, for that advice, because he gave it to me when I was very young and very impressionable in the School of Acting at the Abbey, and it made sense to me immediately. And you know, you're also setting yourself up for a terrible fall sometimes if you go in with that idea of, you know, being a star and all the rest of it, and all that comes with it, all the celebrity nonsense that comes with it. So as an actor, you know, and you know, my advice is go to drama school, concentrate in the work and keep working. You know, it's and that's hard sometimes, but just keep working. You know.
Yeah, I'd say you've met some of those celebrities throughout your time, as you said, who have a bit of nonsense about them as well.
A few.
One of the key things about Pixie is obviously we have Olivia and Ben playing Irish characters. And they were telling me that they use things like Westlife songs and the Pussycat Dolls and lyrics to kind of help them get their around the accent. Now, Alec Baldwin, he just, as you said, he just seems to be having a ball, and he's like, whatever way his accent comes out is brilliant anyway. But I was wondering, did you give them any kind of, were you able to help them with any?
No. They were both, on top of the accents. I felt I didn't have to give them any advice. I think they're both terrific on the accent. Didn't feel the need to give them any point, and they didn't. I think they felt confident in it as well because they could hear. You know, it's. I think with an accent, as much as like you can go to a dialect coach and they tell you how to place your mouth and all this sort of stuff, but it's the important thing is to have an ear for it, to hear it. And I think both of them have great ears. You know, they really heard the accent.
I was hoping you were going to teach them some of your more famous Irish phrases, like "you malignant little bollocks" and stuff as well. And I was hoping that would.
That's actually one of my favorites, "you malignant little bollocks." I often get the snap, Georgie Birds and all that. But my personal favorite from Roddy's wonderful zingers is that. What a wonderful turn of phrase, "you malignant little bollocks." You know, to his own son, of course.
Yeah, if I haven't used it at least once in a day, you know it's been a disappointment. Now you mentioned there accent coaches and things like that. I'm not sure if you saw the reaction to a new film that's coming out, Wild Mountain Thyme.
Oof, it was rough. It was rough.
It was, because like I've never seen a reaction like that, but that obviously is like, you know, actors putting on Irish accents, even if they are from Ireland originally, like Jamie as well. But I'd say you've had, what's it like at that stage of a film and a trailer comes out and people react like that?
Well, it's not good. Sometimes you see the most god-awful trailers and it can actually, you know, the film can turn out to be okay. And so I suppose the jury's still out on that. But it's a peculiar thing about, you know, and Shanley being an American, Americans still have a very strange view of Ireland, you know, and it's informed, I think, by the diaspora and the kind of longing for the old country and all that. And they don't kind of they don't understand modern Ireland and what it's like, and especially how it's changed in the last like 25, 30 years. And I remember many, many years ago being told that I didn't have an Irish accent, and realized this in America, and this is because I didn't talk like Barry Fitzgerald, you know, on the top of the morning, and you know, and that's what they expect an Irish accent to be. So they inevitably fall into that sort of trap, and it seems to me that's what's happened here, you know.
Now, you were saying something earlier about like what your advice for younger actors would just be to keep working, and just having a look at your IMDb. You're jam-packed, even though we're obviously in the middle of this pandemic, but it seems like you've got at least kind of 2, 3, 4 projects on the go all the time. And I was wondering, obviously your character in Pixie is just like, you know, thinking about retirement, just wants to put their feet up. Does that thought ever cross your mind as an actor?
No. It's. I mean, I'm. You know, when I finish a job, and I'm home in New York at the moment, and when I finish a job, I'm good for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then I get twitchy. I want to do something, you know. So no, never. It hasn't crossed my mind. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, doing nothing for the first part of the year was hard. During the first lockdown, you know, and then I mean, I kind of, you know, made my peace with it in a funny way, and I surprised myself because it was, I realized, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is nothing, you know. And we're very fortunate here. We play, you know, Space to Walk and all that sort of stuff. So it wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but I actually kind of calmed down after about 6 weeks and said, look, this is what it is, and you know, forget about the work for now. And it did, you know, by July, August, things were starting to move again, you know.
Well, I want to say thank you on behalf of the people of Ireland, because you rescued 2020 for a lot of people when you turned up as Santa Claus. So thanks for that. What was that like, putting on the red
You
suit?
know, in a funny way, that was sort of in the back of my mind. Well, not that I was saving the people of Ireland, but I thought it'd be a nice thing to do, you know, because and I knew nothing about this character, Kevin the Carrot, or anything like that. And then the Aldi people taught me through it and said, you know, and Jim Broadbent had played Santa in the UK version, and I'm a huge admirer of Jim Broadbent. He's one of the great actors of my generation, and I thought, well, you know, if Jim can do it, I can do it. So I'll give it a lash, and that was it, really. And you know, I was hugely surprised, pleasantly, by the end result. They you know, they really put the animation is like, you know, feature quality animation, and they really did a beautiful job on it. So yeah, I'm very happy about that, and it's just sort of it makes you smile. It made me smile the first time I saw it, anyway. You know.
Yeah, are you available for booking for like Santa Grottos this Christmas or anything?
I don't think so. No, it's a heavy. You know, I mean, you can only do so much Santa. A lot of responsibility.
In terms of 2021, I see that you're working on The Little People, I think it was called.
Yeah.
I think that's done, but with Jamie Lee O'Donnell, who I'm from Derry, and Jamie Lee is from Derry as well. So I hope she convinced you to make a cameo appearance in Derry Girls season 3, or the film that's coming up.
She never offered it to me. I know, sure. Very remiss of her, wasn't it? Yeah. No, listen, I had a ball with Jamie. She's wonderful. She was played my daughter in The Little People, and she's terrific. She's just great. I had such a good time with her, and she's a pistol, you know. I'd love to do a cameo on Derry Girls.
Amazing. We'll get that to Lisa McGee, the writer. I'm sure she'll write you in straight away. And we did put a call out to our readers in terms of, you know, questions for Mr. Colm Meaney. And one of the ones that keeps coming back anytime we do anything like this is just the fundamental question: have you ever eaten a packet of Meanies?
A packet of what?
Meanies, the crisps.
No, I've never heard of them.
Never even heard of them?
No.
Okay, well, we'll have
crisps called Meanie.
There's delicious crisps. They're like pickled onion flavour called Meanies. I don't know if they're named after you.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Right, well, we'll make sure we'll get you a 6-pack of them sent out to you for Christmas, sure.
I mean, the only Meanie product I was ever aware of is because I like a glass of wine. You know, there's a Bordeaux wine called Chateau Meanie, but it's spelled M-E-Y, as the French always do. They've changed the spellings lately. It's M-E-Y-N-E-Y, but it's Chateau. It's like one of the wild geese, you know, the Lynch Badge and the Hennessy and all that. You know, they were the guys who. There's a Chateau Carey. There's, you know, so there was a Chateau, but I never heard of the Meanie crisps.
Well, I think a packet of Meanie crisps will go down wonderfully with a bottle of Chateau Meanie.
And check it out.
Yeah. Well, listen, Colm, as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time today, and congratulations again on Pixie. Can't wait to see it in the cinema whenever it's fingers crossed,
absolutely.
Ready to rock.
Yeah.
So,
it should be seen in the cinema, actually, because it's beautifully shot and it needs to be seen on a big screen, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Ireland looks stunning in it, so. The bigger the picture, the better. But yeah, best of luck with everything else.
Same to you, man.
And stay
Thanks
safe.
so much. All the best.
These sorts of adventures are always more enjoyable with a positive attitude.
Oh, you got a sense of humor. I like that.
She is quite something, that she is.
I think we might be getting a little deep here.
I think we're absolutely
Pixie!
Whatever you choose, however many roads you travel, you find some way to break the rules, make little trouble out there.
There's no two people I'd rather be with travelling down the coast with a boatload of MDMA and a rotten corpse than the two of yous.
Oh, beautifully put, Frank.
I give up.